Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And with that being said, let's start off with this article here. So I included this in a video from earlier today, but we've seen some new announcements regarding this from the community that I do want to go over a little bit. And I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's happening right now around the SEC. So yes, Grayscale did win the lawsuit against the SEC. We didn't get the ETF just yet, but I do think that we are one step closer to that, which is going to be pretty big. Now within this, we've seen Cowboy Crypto 313 actually. He recently got his account back, by the way, so go check him out over on Twitter. But we did see ex-JP Morgan and current CEO of Grayscale, Michael Sonnenshein, became Grayscale CEO on the 1st of, this is January 7th, 2021. Immediately following the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple. Grayscale would dissolve their XRP trust on January 13th, 2021. JP Morgan guys are always at the tip of the sword when it comes to stabbing Ripple XRP in the back. And here you guys have those insights here. We also do see down here the full background of their CEO. Again, as we really kind of look at this, right, we do know that there was a coordinated attack on XRP, especially from some of the bigger guys around JP Morgan, because there's a lot of connections back to Ethereum from JP Morgan, which I'm sure that you guys are all aware of by this point. But one thing that I will say is it seems as though the tides are turning. One of the biggest things that we've seen regarding this announcement of Grayscale was some other headlines. So what do you see here? The US court paves way for spot Bitcoin ETF in Grayscale ruling. This is Bloomberg. The Wall Street Journal, Grayscale wins lawsuit against the SEC over Bitcoin ETF. CNBC, first Bitcoin ETF could be coming soon as court rules in favor of Grayscale over the SEC. The Verge, Grayscale was unreasonably denied its Bitcoin ETF, court rules. The ruling may open the door to new Bitcoin investments. We also see from Reuters, the US court says SEC wrong to deny Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF proposal. Fortune Crypto, court sides with Grayscale in closely watched Bitcoin ETF case. We also see CNN Business, crypto assets soar as US court clears a path for Bitcoin ETFs. ABC News, Bitcoin ETF appears to be on the way after court hands the SEC a stinging loss. TechCrunch, as appeals court rules in favor of Grayscale, a Bitcoin spot ETF could be on the horizon. And then Financial Times, Grayscale scores a big court win against the SEC over Bitcoin ETF. All of these news platforms are heavily anti-crypto at very bearish times. They're usually always siding with the SEC. They're always providing sort of a nuanced view on the market through the lens of the SEC, and now they are all turning their back. We see over here from Tony Edward, Thinking Crypto 1, you've lost the narrative, Gary Gensler, and the optics for you and the SEC are looking very bad. Time to resign. And what's actually funny about this is we've seen Warren Davidson call to fire the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, following Grayscale's win against the SEC. Now, I am going to go over a few things regarding the SEC, but one thing that I want you all to realize is, have you noticed all of these major losses for the SEC happening after the XRP case was won? Do you think it's a coincidence? No. I do think that the Ripple case was a major blow to the SEC's not only credibility, but also their power over this market. I think right now, the SEC is in a losing battle, and it seems as though they are going on the defense as well. We've seen a few projects being targeted just recently. Actually, an NFT project, which I thought was pretty surprising, Impact Theory, was getting targeted. We do see new, spooked by the SEC's action against Impact Theory, some NFT projects are currently in the process of deleting their Discord history. I'm told Tom Baidu was very conservative in comparison to others. Hope that I'm saying that name right. And we even see down here that the SEC Gov has brought its first NFT enforcement action against Impact Theory, dubbing the offering unregistered crypto asset securities. So very interesting turning of events. And I want you guys to understand, right, that as we really kind of look at all of the events around the SEC, it seems as though they're going after their, easier targets now. again, they have their ego to protect. Gary Gensler has this power play ego where he has just a little slice of power and he lets it get to his head. And I think that that's what has caused the SEC to make some very impulsive decisions around this market. I think even the original Ripple case that got brought on by Jay Clayton, I think that that was a little bit of an impulsive move, and I don't think that they really understood the overall effects from that. See, I don't think that they expected Ripple to fight this battle. Ripple did put up over $200 million in legal fees, and they fought the good fight, and they won. At least they won in, again, when we look at the major information that we got from that ruling, it was a big win for the industry. Ripple, I don't know if Ripple did get a significant win on their side of things, but at least we do know that the token XRP did get a huge win tied to it, meaning it got cleared as a currency instead of a security, which was huge. And we really have to give it up to what Ripple did for the industry. I think that it is, it's really huge. But also, I think all of the events now are really kind of, a domino effect from that case. And we even see Brad Garlinghouse quoting Stuart Alderoty. We do see, while these are great outcomes and it's feeling like a summer of justice, it's sad that so many in the US crypto community have to resort to the legal process to prove this SEC is out of control and consistently wrong on the facts and the law. We do see from Stuart Alderoty, because he is quoting the CoinDesk announcement around breaking an appeals court has ordered the SEC to review its rejection of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF bid, potentially opening the door to an approval. This will most likely get denied by the SEC yet again, and then the appeals court will probably again order the SEC to review it yet again, probably kind of keeping it in the cycle loop, if you will. But we do see from Stuart Alderoty, the SEC is getting battered in the court. In our case, it's been proven wrong, been called hypocritical, lacking faithful allegiance to the law, fined for discovery abuses, and now another distinguished court saying it's arbitrary and capricious. That's a really big deal. And again, as we really kind of look at all of the events around the SEC, I do think that their overall credibility and I think that their overall power around the space is diminishing greatly. This is one thing that I do want everyone to understand, because for the longest time, the XRP community was laughed at. The XRP community was hated on. But all of the events that the SEC has brought onto this industry in the last 2 years regarding everything that we've seen from the XRP lawsuit has really proven the fact that the SEC is out of control. The SEC is not here to protect the retail investor. They're not here, for this industry and this technology. They're here to try to slow it down as much as possible, try to kill it, try to diminish what this technology really is becoming. And I think that now more than ever, I think that we need to take a step back and realize how big of a win the Ripple case was for this entire industry, because from that, it really kind of set the SEC further apart from the space in terms of what their overreach could achieve. And we also see from John E. Deaton, first it was Ripple and XRP. Caitlin Long's Custodia Bank won a battle as well. Today, Grayscale won. Reminder that crypto is winning the long game. All we need is a massive Coinbase victory on its MTD, and Gary Gensler will be done. And listen, all of these big updates, here's Custodia's big win back in June. This was June 9th. The Federal Reserve lost its motion to dismiss yesterday. Custodia Bank can move forward with the plausible claims. We win in court. All of these big wins are crucial to focus on, because while we have all of these big wins, at the same exact time, there's a lot of pressure on the SEC from Congress, because Congress is now also calling to fire Gary Gensler, which the entire community has been calling for this for a very long time, because I think that the community has seen the overall gross overreach that the SEC has been using. Again, I say it's ego, because I do believe that the SEC has been acting in ego. And what's funny is it seems as though everyone, and I mean all the news platforms, are now turning against Gary Gensler and the SEC. And we've been talking about this, right? We've been addressing the day where the SEC is finally viewed as the bad guy. They're not, viewed as the agency that is trying to protect the retail sector. What we have seen from the SEC side is more harm than anything, right? Going all the way back even beyond FTX, the XRP lawsuit initially caused $15 billion worth of damages. I could just imagine how much damage it did cause up to this point. And then also we have to look at FTX, Luna, Voyager, all of these huge failures that the SEC has had tied to its belt, as well as Gary Gensler, should 100% be mentioned. And I do think that we need to focus on JP Morgan. I think that we need to focus on the Ethereum connections, because we know for a fact, and I'm not the only one, Blockchain Backer actually made a great video on this going back roughly, I want to say 2 years ago now, where he addressed the big pain points of this lawsuit and the damage it caused XRP and the XRP community. Meaning, guess what? XRP would have been trading significantly higher in 2021 if it wasn't for the lawsuit. We've seen Ethereum hit almost $600 billion in market cap. Could you imagine if XRP hit nearly $600 billion in market cap last major cycle? Imagine what it would have been hitting in this next major cycle as well. This is the significant damages that the SEC has caused, not only, XRP and the XRP community, but the entire industry as well. They have set us back years. And now we are finally getting to the point where we can get to the actual realization that Gary Gensler needs to get out of office. We need the SEC to not have a hand in crypto regulation at all. Congress seems to be the major group to be focused heavily on crypto regulations. So that's what we're really kind of looking at this point. It is sad that we really need to go through the courts and we have to go through this legal battle to really kind of get to this point. But hey, I welcome all these big wins, and it seems as though the SEC is getting absolutely slaughtered in court. And this is something that I'm very excited about, because it really does put a strike through Gary Gensler and the SEC's ego around how they can control this market, how they can utilize their power against this market, and all of those tied to it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.